Hello, and welcome to another segment of Ryan's Ranch Roundup. I'm your host, Ryan Heiss. And on a previous segment, we looked at your residential irrigation system, reviewing components such as how to shut down your irrigation at the curb stop. We looked at your rain sensor device. We also briefly looked at your residential irrigation controller. But today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at how to program that controller. So let's get started, shall we? Now we'll be looking at programming your irrigation controller. Here we have a standard Rainbird controller, and we'll be looking at the very basics as it relates to programming this. The resident of this home has done particularly well in having their irrigation schedule available to them. One thing that's important to note in Lakewood Ranch is that each neighborhood has a very specific irrigation schedule. So we happen to be in Greenbrook Chase, and we happen to be at an even address. So the watering time for this area is 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. So I go to the controller, and the first thing I want to do is to make sure that I have the current date and time set correctly. In order to do that, I simply go to day and make sure that it's on the correct day of Tuesday. That's all set. Now we look at the hour. It is 9 a.m. and 10 minutes. Simply adjust this by clicking the up and down arrow. We're all set. 9:10 a.m. The next thing I want to do is to make sure that I have the correct watering day, Wednesday. So I go to the custom schedule area and I go through each of the days. Monday is off. Tuesday, off. Wednesday, our watering day, is on. Thursday, off, etc. Now, we want to look at our watering start time. Remember, we want to start at 5 a.m. So, we have a section called Program Start Times. So, we'll simply move the arrow to the first watering start time and note that it is adjusted to start at 5 a.m. It changes in 15-minute increments, no problem. So we have that set. We don't need a second watering time or a third, so we'll just skip over those components. So now we have a watering start time programmed to begin at 5 a.m. So we'll look at the amount of watering time for each particular zone. I happen to know that there's 4 zones in this particular lot, so we should have no more than a half an hour per zone in order to stay in the 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. watering window. Make adjustments for your type of landscape. If it's a turf area, it's most likely that you'll require a higher run time than a landscape mulched area with shrubs and flowers. So, zone 1 is a turf area that is south facing. Probably is going to require the most irrigation time. So I'm going to set that to run a half an hour. And then I look at zone 2. This is also a turf area, but it's on the north side of our house. And it's also shared adjacent to another lot, which means that there's watering coming from their side of the lawn. So I'm going to reduce that amount of run time since it's getting double water. I'm going to reduce that down to 20. Zone 3 happens to be a shrub area. I'll set that for 25 minutes. Zone 4, another shrub area, but with plant material that requires less water. So I've set that for 20 minutes. All of which is under my 2-hour watering window, so we're all set. All I need to do is simply go back to auto, and it will automatically run on the date and time selected. If we should be getting summer rains and not need the irrigation controller at all, I'll simply turn the controller to the off position. This will not allow the controller to run whatsoever. But since we're not quite to our summer rains yet, I'll be putting it on auto. And that's it. Alright, so it's really that simple. Don't be afraid to play around with your irrigation controller. You can always reset it if you need to. And please remember to change your battery at least once a year. If you don't do that and your power goes out, your controller automatically resets back to the factory settings, allowing it to irrigate every day. And you don't want that. So, thank you for joining us on Ryan's Ranch Roundup. We hope to see you again soon.